All right, folks. So thanks for all the love. We start off at another series of Gold League. This is the final round. And for those that have followed Titans League over the years, you might know Overtaken a bit more than Wide. But Overtaken, unfortunately, has been, hate to say it, overtaken a little bit. He's 3 wins right now. He's bottom of the group in gold, which means despite all that talent, he might end up being a silver player. He would need, I think, 3 wins here against Wide in order to give himself a chance at survival. Wide is a player I've been praising an awful lot for the preparation. And Wide has actually gone for the Muisca here. So does go for a DLC civilization to start off the series. We didn't have them all banned out in this draft like we've had from some of the Platinum players. So we'll get to see the flexibility from the Muisca here, which we'll get to. But I want to talk about Wide. He's got 8 wins. He beat almost everybody in the group. It's likely, well, with 1 win, he's in playoffs at least. But if he were to able to get the sweep here, he could potentially get first place, which would put Wide into Platinum. Remember, if you're first place in the group, you're auto-promoted to the next league. If you're second or third, you go into a best-of-7 playoff. And yeah, that's the gist. But these playoffs are competitive. Like, Doubt is going to be in the playoffs, for example. So, and I think Doubt actually plays... I think Doubt ends up playing the 3rd place in this group. So, like, really big names. I could go down the list. You just do not want to be in those playoffs if you can avoid it. So, Muisca. I mean, think about their bonuses here. So, advancing to the next stage costs less gold. So, I wonder if going Fast Castle becomes more viable. They don't really have any bonuses which make them strong in the early game. And it's not a civilization that I would say is necessarily, I don't know, great here. What are you guys thinking? Is he going to go for Champies? Like, that's what everyone's thinking with these new civs. But as I've been saying in the videos, and I'll have another Champy video soon, I think the Tupi, because they start with some extra resources, are good with the Champies. The Incas are fantastic because of their economic flexibility. I'm not really seeing anything here. Maybe he wants to play Temple Guards or Guecha Warriors later. The Guecha Warriors are out of the castle. Temple Guards would be out of the monastery or barracks. But if Fast Castle, like, if you're going to immediately utilize any of the bonuses for this civ, I'm thinking it would be Fast Castle. And then maybe some Temple Guards. Yeah, Fatalica. Overtaken's unfortunate runs in Titans League needs its own video. I'm so glad that you mentioned it. I'm not laughing at him. But it's just, there were, what, like 3 seasons in a row where he would get relegated with 7 wins, which is so rare. And if he wins 3-0 here, he would have 6 wins, and still very likely he gets relegated. Pretty wild. All right, Dragonstar's the chat. Dragonstar is sharing secrets. So I think the world should listen. He says cheaper settlement OP. Yeah, but this civ... Okay, so you think that 25% off on the settlement is overpowered, huh? Yeah, but I don't like it for this map, right? Like, because you want the settlement on wood and gold. You already have a settlement here. Also, Wide, don't lose this villager. I think Wide will be fine. We'll see. I mean, where would you place an ideal settlement? Here, maybe? Wood and a little bit of gold? I feel like the settlement's just kind of clunky. But it being cheaper and it giving you pop space is nice. I think I prefer the Dravidian bonuses, though. You get the additional fishing ship carry capacity. You get the extra population space from the docks. I guess it evens out, though, because one player gets pop space from a settlement. The other one gets population space from their docks. Overtaken's a really aggressive player. I think where he struggles is if his aggression doesn't pan out initially. But if he were to fall down the Silver League, I think he'd have a really good run there. There's some players who can struggle with the aggression down in Silver League. And, yeah, I think we'll see Overtaken click up. There's the barracks for Wide. He'll probably click up as well. So we'll see Fast Feudal for both. Could be a mix of water and land. Fun fact, chat. Jedi Master, who's in chat right now, who doesn't actually have the emote because they're not subscribed, but they're saying, hi, I'm new. Hi, I'm the first time here live on Twitch. Typing T90 new. They're the originator of the hi, I'm new meme, if my memory serves me correctly. Jedi Master's been around a really long time and would consistently show up and say, hi, I'm new. First time watching from YouTube, you know. And yeah, so because of Jedi Master, we now have the hi, I'm new meme. So yeah. I don't want to sound like a greedy streamer here and beg my chat to gift subs, but if anyone is going to give subs today, giving one to Jedi Master so he can use the emote would make sense. Jedi Master, thanks for being here. There's the second doc there for wide. Mandela on YouTube saying, did Platinum League complete yet? No, Platinum League is essentially on a bit of a break as we finish gold. Next Friday, Platinum returns. We'll be finishing gold and be finishing silver over the next week or so. Here come the champies, people. Here come the champies. Again, the starting town center, though, is... it protects your wood and it protects your gold. And then you also have the fish for food. So I don't know how successful the Champy Rush can really be. Thank you, Devry. I felt a little bit bad about saying that, but like I said, Jedi Master now has the emote. Wide has 2 docks. Archer range for Overtaken makes a lot of sense here. Champies are very quick. I think Overtaken might need to just stay near his town center. And oh, he sees the Champies. Wasn't expecting that. Gets the quick walls down. The Champies are very quick. But nice quick walls there from Overtaken, as both players are going to make some Navy as well. And Wide is here with a Villager. That is 3 Champies. They were stacked on top of each other. Wide is getting a little confident here. Where are you going, lady? Wide's going to build a tower. Well, I mean, they're just Champy scouts for now. They're not Champy runners. But they'll be upgraded here in just a second. And Overtaken's under a lot of pressure to make a decision. That's half the battle with the Champies. It's just they pressure you so fast. You're not really able to react as quickly as you need to. Nice patience from Overtaken so far. Lots of anxiety for Overtaken because of the Champies. Oh, God. Now he deletes his tower. So he's like repositioning the tower. Quick walls all the time. Still hasn't lost a villager, though. Does have archers that are about to have fletching. I think he's fine. But I think water is actually going to be the real issue here. Essentially, the Champies set up... They attack on land, so the opponent then can go full focus on water. One's in chat if this is stressing you out just watching it. These things are so quick. And in the end, Overtaken deals with it. He can actually just sit here with his archers. So the Champies can't attack the tower. This tower will get shot down. The big thing, though, for Overtaken is his fish. So that was the setup for Wide. He goes Champies and tower. That way he can pressure on water. But in the end, Overtaken will deal with this. That might end up being a free villager kill as well. Remember, you can garrison your fish now onto the docks. So I think if Overtaken's able to pay attention to it, he could save his fish and recover on water. And now there needs to be some type of follow-up from Wide on land. He's building the settlements in the back, but he needs an archer range. Unless he wants to play full Champy, which I guess in theory could still be a play. This is good, though. He's finding the fishing ship damage. Overtaken takes down the tower, kills the villager, but needs to move forward with the archers. And yeah, there's the garrison, so now you can save your fish. Easy to forget about the villagers on the shoreline here. But he doesn't. He should clear up the hawks there from Wide. He can get back to work with the fish. Wide is actually going for a market. Wow, so Wide is just playing like full water and a couple Champies now. And almost looks like he wants Castle Age. That is a lot of hawks, though. I like the strat. Like, I think in theory, Overtaken strategy is maybe better. But in theory, it's not how this game is played, right? This game is played in practice. And I think in practice, the chaos of the situation could make it tough for Overtaken. I just think if Overtaken could full micro his archers right now, Wide could have some real problems. I love the way he's built up his base, though. The fact that his woodline isn't being ranged makes that maybe not the case. kind of difficult for Overtaken to use the archers, and still difficult for Overtaken to really get value from the fishing ships. He's going to make some demos. Let's see if the demos can land some shots on the Hawks. But yes, a wide is up. Archers for Overtaken are here. And he can find 5 villager kills. That's huge. This is the risk of playing full champy, guys. He has no loom. He's on the way to Castle Age with no loom. Oh my god, dude. That's... Oh, I mean, I assume he forgot it, right? Clearly he's forgotten it. And he loses the vills. You need food eco for champies. He doesn't have a lot of food eco. He doesn't have buffaloes underneath the TC now. And unfortunately for Overtaken... Oh my god, Overtaken's fish went right into the Hawks there. He just got big time hawked, and now he doesn't have food eco. He did bring in an elephant. Nice micro there from wide. He microed the Hawks, and the demos didn't connect with multiple ships. So I think... I know he's lost some of his champions for now, but if he makes it to Castle Age without receiving any more damage, maybe upgrades his ships, things could be pretty good for him. Overtaken still looking around. If he looks, he'll find that villager. That's really nice heads-up play. That's another villager sniped. Normally, that villager doesn't get found. And Wide will just fall back. I think Wide's going to stick to the game plan here. I don't know how expensive the Champy that warrior upgrade is, but medium warships is on the way. Overtaken needs to get to Castle Age. Needs to probably conserve the archers. Remember, these units are basically like an Eagle Warrior. The main difference, I'd say, between an Eagle Warrior, though, is the Eagle Warrior gets that 7 base attack just by making it to Castle Age without an additional upgrade. Now the additional upgrade needs to come in. It's like a mix of an Eagle and a Man-at-Arm in terms of how things tend to play out. Ships are weak here for Wide, but they're about to become medium. Damn. Look at them become medium. That's so medium. Nice snipes and nice hold for Wide. Technically, he should repair all those ships, but that's a lot of time and focus. And now he knows his opponent is playing fully archers. And he will go for a siege workshop. That is a bold siege workshop position, but he's got the units to protect it. 9 base attack now. 4 pierce armor, which means the archers only do 1 damage a hit. Wide has done a great job balancing his eco and adding in some farms behind. Wide, of course, still has fishing ships, which the opponent doesn't. And if Wide has a mangonel, it's a lot of pressure for Overtaken to deal with. Still no loom for Wide. Which is crazy. Do you think it's intentional, or do you think he just forgot? He had to forget, right? Oh, no, there it is. Loom. All right. Speak of the devil. This is just such a nice position. And if Overtaken can't go archers, I don't really know what unit you would want to try here with no food eco. I think Dravidians are a good civ to maybe play longsword against this. But good luck. Overtaken wants to still upgrade his archers too. He does have another archer range in the back. Yeah, I think going longsword with crossbows would be the play, but since you already have so many archers, you really want to upgrade them. Feels rather important now that he's able to snipe some fish. He's got 3 demos. What? The 18 HP Hawk and 3 demos. This sounds like a start of a bad joke, but I guess if he can kill fish with anything, he'll take it. I have a feeling he can't really focus on this, though. The pressure's coming in. He's repairing his mangonel. His archers have to track this. He's going in. Hey, at least he'll kill some fish. Oh, worth? Oh my god, he killed 5 fishing ships. Okay, that's worth it. Simultaneously, though, he had to quick wall here. And he lost a bunch of vills. And he's going to lose his tower. And Wide is locked in right now. The whole game, Wide has just kept his opponent chasing and guessing. And the champions are going to have even more upgrades. This is really uncomfortable position. You don't have the water control if you're Overtaken. You don't have the land control either. It has just been non-stop pressure here from Wide. I think you almost have to counterattack right now with these crossbows. But I guess you can't because you'll lose ground. Just needs stellar micro here. If the food eco's there and it's not perfect, I still think considering a longsword switch in the barracks would make sense. But you don't have a lot of time on this map. And yeah, Wide sees him. Guys, can all champions build outposts, or is that just for certain civs? For whatever reason, I'm forgetting. I think... Oh my god, what a shot. I think all of them can, right? Because that could be a good aspect of the champy here. Yeah, this is over. This is over. The crossbows are just not the play. Champies have high pierce armor. There's so many of them from Wide. He's sinking more and more damage into the town center. All the crossbows are going to get cleared up. There's no water control whatsoever for Overtaken. He will try. I mean, technically, until the champions arrive, he's got a moment with his mangonels, but he taps out. Honestly, I think that's an excellent example. So yes, champions are strong, and Twitch chat helped me out spam the champy emote. See if I look like that. I don't know. Yeah, champions are strong, but it wasn't really about that. At least the strategy, right? Like, there, he clears up with the champions, but the most important thing for me was just the chaos and early feudal. Because as the champions were running around and Overtaken needed to work really hard to deal with them, Wide was adding farms behind this and expanding his economy. Wide was winning water and sniping the fishing ships. And then by the time Overtaken got forward with the archers, yeah, he did damage, but he was just way late to Castle Age, where then the siege and the champions were able to come back into the play. So, beautiful job from Wide. I mean, that's what hybrid maps are all about. Hybrid maps are about using focus on land to set up water and vice versa. And, yeah, Wide takes win number 1. I still don't think that the Muisca are necessarily overpowered there. I think that the game plan was solid, but I think Dravidians can easily match that. Maybe what the Dravidians need, actually, is to play Man-at-Arms into Archers. If you have, we see a lot of Man-at-Arms on that map. I think you play Man-at-Arms and Archers, and it shuts the early champions down, and then you're applying pressure on the houses and breaking through. So, but it is a bit more difficult because you might lack the speed there. But I was surprised that we didn't see Overtaken play into Man-at-Arms. I feel like Dravidians are the perfect civ. The fact that he didn't play any infantry feels a bit rough. You want to see champies? I was shocked that Incas wasn't banned. This is the champy rush. We're catching up to live time. I've made videos on this one. I think this rush, I mean, the devs are going to have to nerf this, man. This particular civ's champy rush is unbelievable. You get the extra population space from the house, so you already have 15 pop. Champies are so fast and can get to these opponents' base right away. Especially because on this map, it's a fixed town center position, so you should know where the opponent is. But I think the settlements also giving additional population space for the Incas is what makes this so strong. Essentially, after Wide gets a bunch on food, they'll plan around settlements on the wood, on the gold, on the food. And yeah, this could get dangerous very quickly. But 3 minutes into the game, there's already some units here. And I just wonder if Overtaken has been paying attention, right? Like, to not ban Incas on the draft is kind of crazy, and he wanted to go for the early dock, and his villager's already dead. It's perfect on this map, because you can just completely deny the dock with champies. But, like, I don't feel... I want to feel bad for the players, but, like, dude, like, Incas are number one. They're number 1. You got 5 bans. Didn't ban them at all. And, well, there's 2 champies. Overtaken goes for the walls. I haven't seen Overtaken playing as actively. Maybe he's not as up-to-date on things. Maybe he's not aware. I'm obviously, like, online, like, 10 hours a day these days with AoE2. But look at how much pop space he has. There should come at some downside. And there's no downside because your eco is already so good. Oh, man. It would be an amazing find for Wide if he stays out here and denies the dock again. Still no loom for Overtaken. If this villager goes down, we might even see a GG. Like, not having the dock here is horrible. That's the main purpose of the build. Resources just starting to get at the limit here for Wide because of no settlement or lumber camp or something, right? And now he will place the settlement and have endless pop space. he will miss the dock. So as long as Overtaken drops the dock and drops some palisades, should be fine. Comes back home with the scout. Not sure where his scout has been. Ah, he went to deny his opponent's dock. Okay, yeah, he just had no clue what was coming. He's out of the loop. It's rare, but I think viewers probably knew more than Overtaken about what was coming here. The fact that he tried to scout the dock tells you he had no clue that Drush was even coming. Well, maybe it may be a sign of the situation for him this season. Just not being as up to date on some of the plays, and Wide is extremely active and well prepped, practicing all the time. For what I think, what Wide could do is basically anything. But I think what would be sick from Wide is if he goes to water now and just plays around some Hulks to deny the fish. But I don't even think that's needed. I think this game is so well built up from Wide. Look at the feudal age time. I think you could just play full champies or full archers. The champies taking down the houses. Overtaken will be housed. Overtaken is on the way to feudal age, but this is rough. Your build is at the limit, and even just losing the houses means you have to rebuild them all the time. Can be insanely frustrating. Yeah, DeGost, you can basically have everything on food for a very long period of time and still have the production for villagers and champions. So, I'm sure they're going to nerf the champion in some way because all civs can do this. But having 45 pop space when you've only built 2 houses and then having the flexibility of these units and the economy is just... Incas are insane. Did I, in the video where I talked about the champions, does anyone remember if Hardy added the clip from my reaction when I saw the patch notes? I actually didn't have a chance to rewatch the full edit because we are churning out videos so quickly. But I think in my video there, I was like... I said how I couldn't believe it when I saw it on the patch notes, and I wasn't sure if Hardy added it. He did? Yeah. I saw that. I was like, really? It's like, we're in a really... Even without these civs, we're in a really Drush-heavy meta right now. So, it did not come as a surprise to me at all. Wide is not going for water at all, which should come at some downside. There will be 4 eco units here for Overtaken. He goes for a stable, so his plan is to go scouts. Scouts do beat the champies, but of course you're going to need the food and you're going to need the numbers. Wide getting the champy runner, and it looks like the plan is to follow up with archers as well. To me, it almost feels like you're Huns right now, if you're Wide, just because of how freed up with pop space you are. And that allows you to have wood to spend on everything else, right? Farms. Already on 3 farms. Remember, Overtaken doesn't even have a mill yet. That's what you should be thinking if you're Wide. At a certain stage... Oh, God, he's attacking through the corner. He's attacking through the corner. Whoo, that was close. Yeah, at a certain stage, he's going to need the berries if he's already docked. So a little bit surprised that Wide hasn't gone for his own dock to disrupt the fish. That should be a big advantage for Overtaken. And a little surprised he hasn't moved to the berries. This game is pretty close all of a sudden. It might not be as pay to win as chat is joking right now. Wide just is counting on this sinking so much damage here that it's a lot of work for Overtaken, and he can put all of his time and focus onto his base. I'm coming forward now with an archer and a spearman, and Overtaken actually goes for a tower. Yeah, you see that tower, and then you're just like, oh, perfect, because that tower does absolutely nothing for him in Castle Age. Yeah, he'll love to see that tower, and he can just shift the pressure elsewhere. But Overtaken knew there was some army follow-up. As speaking of houses, Overtaken deletes the house there to get more villagers to the woodline, and now he gets housed. These are the things that happen when you're under pressure, and also when you don't get the basically free population space for everything you do at home, right? Still adding fish. Completely undisrupted. I'm surprised that Wide hasn't tried anything. Overtaken does seem to be really rattled. I think he actually overmade fishing ships. I think with 5 and he plays in towards some archers and skirms here, he's in a much better position. But when you have the water and you're behind and maybe the underdog, you take some risks, right? And he loses a couple villagers there. Well, Say My Name is in chat. Well, Say My Name is going to be in gold next season. And Say My Name is confused with Overtaken's response to this right now. He did not like him deleting that house there. I guess the plan is just full-on tower defense for Overtaken. So he'll probably drop a tower here, and then he'll plan on dropping a tower here. And then with the free fish boom, he just wants Castle Age. How do Gulabs perform against the Champions? They should be pretty good, right? Honestly, he might be onto something here. I think I'll have to use the market. But with 10 fishing ships... he also should research the fishing lines upgrade right now, which is new and maybe he's not up to date. Champy is shock military, so the Ghulams should completely wreck them, I think. I think it can work, but you can't let the units in. I think he's got a wall there. I think he's okay, actually. That's funny. Wide shoots down the house and then leaves. That's funny. Champy is not shock? Oh, okay. I'm shocked to hear that. Yeah, then I have no clue. Stat-wise, the Gulam should still be fine. So far, Wide has loved his Champies. Inca somehow made it into his 5th pick as well. Like, with where I prioritized them, I would have thought they would be first. He's going to click up to Castle Age. With the market, Overtaken can do the same. Spears around from Wide. Wide will click up. And does Wide even know about the stone commitment here? He must be very confused. He probably assumes that there's some stone income. But honestly, there's 2 towers without seeing the stone mining doesn't tell you everything there. Problem for Overtaken is he probably needs another tower just to protect the woodline and the golds for Castle Age. And now Overtaken will use the market to click up. Yeah, I don't think Overtaken is quite as up to date, guys. Like, not getting fishing lines, I guess it's a tiny detail. But getting that fishing lines upgrade would lead to extra efficiency right now. They basically nerfed fishing ships. I think it's a lovely change. They nerfed fishing ships a little bit. And you have to get fishing lines to be as efficient as you were before in Dark Age and Feudal. And then you still have gill nets. It is mainly going to be champies from Wide. So he's playing full champy. Overtaken needs to get a castle up ASAP. And now he's going archery ranges? What? Oh, he's changing plans to cav archers. I don't know about that one, bro. And Overtaken is an Arabia player. He likes his standard units. We saw in the previous game, he really wanted to play crossbow. He's a big ranged unit player. I mean, if you have the time to mess the cav archers, it could work. Arsonist coming in, though, for Wide. Wide's eco is still fantastic. And it just feels like every moment of this series has been twice as difficult for Overtaken. We've always been looking at Overtaken's base. You want to know if someone's winning? We never look at their own economy. That's how you know someone's winning. Because as the caster, we're always looking in the other guy's base. There's exceptions, obviously. You do have the players that, you know, spend all day defending. They spend the entire game defending. And then we never look at the opponent's base. And then they still win, so. Alright, so Champy Runner will become Champy Warrior now. And pretty much it's Champies against nothing, so. You want to know if there's a counter to this unit? You do need to actually have some military out. For now, it's just full defense from Overtaken. Still is the fishing ships. Still walling out the infantry. He's done a nice job. If he can get to, like, 8 cav archers with Bodkin, I actually think it could work. Because similar to Eagle Warriors in Castle Age, cav archers can still kill them. It's only 5 pierce armor, and cav archers do 8 damage. So it would be 3 damage a hit, and you have the mobility to keep up with the champies. Wide wants the 3-0 here, so he can go insta-plat. Honestly, well done to Overtaken. It looked really rough. But he'll have husbandry as well. He'll drop the town centers. This will be a much longer game than I initially thought. He just leaned into the fishing ships for as long as possible. And the quick walls have been stellar. Now what is Wide supposed to make against Cav Archers? The answer clearly is going to be Champies, but I think he might need to consider massing skirms. That is something that's still cheaper for the Incas. Ballistics will be huge for Overtaken. He needs a house wall at every single location. Quick walls have had to happen so consistently, but he's done a really nice job. And now the Cav Archers are here. There's more Champies here, though. Wide will be inclined to dive because he sees the army at his base. Overtaken needs more quick walls. He wasn't expecting the units to run around. More houses, more walls, and into the tower he has to go. Villagers will go down, though. And Cav Archers are still running around, but maybe he needed to stay at home with the Cav Archers for a moment. Let's see. I mean, Hindustani villagers are cheap, so you can afford to lose a couple. It's fine. That's expendable. And you still have 2 town centers. Champies still can't be underneath town centers for a long time. Tower's actually going down here, but the Cav Archers are microing over here. This is a crazy game. So much micro is involved right now. Yep, tower went down. Tower went down. Wide gets through. The Champies find a way. Desperate times for Overtaken's economy right now. Lots of villagers running away. Most of the eco's working for Wide. Still, though, I feel like Champy dies to Cav Archer if the numbers get high enough for the Cav Archers. That's what Wide needs to avoid. Overtaken just got pulled off of multiple resources, so ballistics is really hard to come by. And this group of Cav Archers, while it is being microed, about to be overwhelmed by the Champy spam. It's exactly what you want. Anytime you're playing Knights or Eagles, or in this case, Champies against range units, you want to split up and hit different positions and keep them on the run, make their life really difficult. And that's exactly what we're seeing from Wide. You heard it here, folks. T90 thinks the workforce is expendable. Anything for the cause. I'm obviously that's all. I only feel that way about Age of Empires, you know. Especially if the villagers are cheap. Yeah, let them die. I don't care as long as you win. But not in real life. In real life, it's the opposite. Everyone matters in real life. All right. Yeah, I think this cycle is just going to continue. I think Wide will continue to raid as much as possible. Overtaken just has to wall whatever he can. But now Overtaken is back. If he can get here, he fully denies the gold. If he can get here, he fully denies the wood line. This is a problem for the Champies. They're not able... They're not... Oh, God. More quick walls from Overtaken. Damn. He's repairing double houses here. He's repairing the palisade. And he has these Cav Archers camping. Still no ballistics upgrade. He just can't afford it, guys. But nice hold. Guess who wins right now? We got 88 population for both. Both players with lots of idols. So the economy is taking losses. Cav Archer count is up to 20, which matches the Champy count. We were critical of Cav Archer. At least I was. I think everyone was just feeling like the Champies are inevitable. But turns out... Cav Archer is actually a really nice play against them in the mid-game. And Wide is hard committed to this. He's not going to make a switch. He's going to make a switch into Siege, though. Oh, man. And that's not something Overtaken is prepared to deal with. Now, I've seen Overtaken micro this. But, yeah, he needs the awareness. He sees it. He pulls away. Sick awareness. Still sitting here with Cav Archers. Still getting some kills. Does have ballistics on the way. But, guys, for gold... He would have to come here, which he can no longer take. And then the other gold is... Oh, he's already on the back. Okay, sorry. I thought for a second the map was bugged, and I just realized. So he does have the other gold. Hitting and running. The Champies are dying. Still, there's not going to be a ton of consistent gold income for Wide. If he loses this position, he does have another gold over there. Villagers came back to the gold. The siege is starting to pile up. Overtaken needs to take this army now. He needs to clear this. If he clears this, then he can come clear this pretty easily. Love the continuous pressure with the Cav Archers. And I think champies just aren't very good anymore. Impressive, though. Like, you have to work so hard to keep up with the champies that usually most people are completely behind or dead at this stage. But Overtaken has been defending 90% of the time, and he's defended perfectly. Camel comes out to snipe the Mangonel. My God, Overtaken. And this player's in the relegation zone and is apparently going to be... He's apparently going to be relegated out of gold. What a hold. That's sick. We'll check the odds. Obviously, he needs this win. He needs the next win, and then I think he needs a little bit of help. But I think he needed a 3-0 today, unfortunately. As if you want to know the counter to champions, just defend for 30 minutes and then get to 30 Cav Archers with 3 TCs. That's all you have to do. Just win. It's really that simple. None of this was simple. He made it look easy. I think Wide is realizing, holy crap, maybe this isn't as strong as I thought. And I'm sure he's regretting not mixing in skirmishers. I think he had just had so much confidence after the first game that he could just keep his opponent running. Overtaken's APM was through the roof in this game. So many quick walls. Like, look at how fast he was. My God. And that eco APM, I guarantee you 80% of it was just quick walls with palisades. But no, like, what did Wide do game number 1? He went champions and kept his opponent running, and he won water. And in this game, he went champions, kept his opponent running, and he never sniped the fish. Like, there was never a point where Overtaken was able to focus on this as well. Now, Wide would maybe have a less effective champion rush, but I think he needed to snipe the fishing ships in the early game. Giving up on that area is maybe one of the bigger downsides, but eventually the CA just whittled those things down. Big difference in food collected, but there was enough food for Overtaken to produce villagers after he would lose them, and there was more than enough wood and gold for the Cav Archers. Well played. All right, so we got Regicide, and we got Regicide with queens, guys. So if you lose your queen, you are dead. We've got Salu, which is Wide's home map. He's played this a lot this season. And he is up. So you start with the Regicide resources. You start with pre-built farms. You start with a lot of different things. He is on the way to feudal age with 13 economy. Overtaken's playing as them late. Overtaken's still not in feudal age. He's choosing to add a few more villagers. But it's a weird map because you can't get loom right away because you don't start with any gold. And while there's not a lot of benefit to having the water long term, there is some benefit, and players don't have ways to get elite any other way. So typically you do see a lot of fighting little engagements over the water here. But Wide being faster than the Malay to feudal age is always very nice. You get some hits. Remember, you can garrison the fish. So technically, Overtaken should garrison that fishing ship, and then his dock would fire arrows to help him defend. I don't think he's super accustomed to that, just based on how I've seen him play so far. But I did some testing games on this yesterday, and I find having 2 fishing ships here is nice because you can actually protect your villagers as well, just with being able to garrison. Now, Overtaken will lose his scout. I think that's maybe avoidable. And now his villager doesn't have loom as well, and now he needs to go for quick walls. The tower does have a crazy range, though. A tower is a sniper with 13 range. And now we'll just see a hawk there from Overtaken, which could lead to 2 villager kills, because Wide doesn't have loom. Wide went fast feudal for the second TC. Okay, so there's a couple details I need to point out to you guys, because it's... I think it's easy to forget. This is extremely difficult. Right now, your boars are always outside your walls. So, yeah, this happens so consistently. Your boars will be on the other side of the gate. Very easy to forget about something. You just lost a villager there because of the Hulk. Hulk is much better than a demo here because it can at least basically offer value long term. The demo is just one hit. The wood line, if you want to chop to the outer edge, is double the amount of wood on each tree. So it's 200 wood per tree. On the outside, you will find additional berries and deer and water buffalo. And some players will actually really prioritize those water buffalo on the outside. And they might use their king to go out there and find them. Just depends on the approach. So Overtaken's been in feudal age for a minute. He's basically ahead on the water. So he's feeling better because he's got some fishing ships. Still nothing on gold for wide. He was going to change that now. Was interesting too. He had a lot on wood here, and he pulled them from wood to go over to the berries, so he can overload on food. And yeah, I think Wide has forgotten about his queen, but we didn't. There she is. She's abandoned her village, which is that's kind of crappy behavior. You know, you think you want a leader who's going to be in the town overseeing the whole thing, but Overtaken's got the queen there in the tower. So hopefully Wide doesn't forget about that. If Wide forget about that the whole game, I'll be very surprised. That is a $20 queen right now. So that dies, it's GG. I think Overtaken's going to click up. So last night I was playing some games, right? I told you guys I play with gold players and silver players and play a bunch of sets. And in this one game, I'm playing this map, and my opponent was using their king to get the water buffaloes, which is very greedy, right? But if you think about it, that's 300 per pair, and they're everywhere. So just took the chance to go around with water buffaloes. I had a wall here, right in the corner. So let's say it goes from this wood line to this wood line, and then I had chopped through here with my lumber camp. I'm like 30 vills behind at this point, by the way. I'm castle pushing with an army. My army's all the way on the front. I look back at my wood line for a second, and just as I chop through, I catch a glimpse. Well, no, yeah, I already had chopped through because I walled. I catch a glimpse of the king here. I panic. I pull my whole wood line. I go gate. And so basically, I had the king trapped, and by the entire army I'm pushing with, he's got monks and siege. He's like, oh my god, I got to defend from this push. I just bring it all back home. And then I almost crap myself because my gates opened because my villagers walked to the other side and the king almost escaped. Anyways, I said, are you forgetting something? And then I ran through and I killed the king. Which is kind of crappy in a practice game, to be honest, because we didn't really learn anything except that he needs to not be an idiot. But you know, it's lesson learned. Hopefully the mistake isn't made again. You should record it. Well, I don't want any spoilers. If that's going to be content, that'll have to be content in the future. I'm going to wait until next week because I don't want any information out there on strategies and civs and stuff like that. But yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. Kind of rare that happens, right? But no, like, don't be an idiot is actually kind of an important little thing to learn, right? Like, don't leave your queen out in the open. It's a lesson that someone needs to learn. Clearly. The pretty close game here. I mean, Overtaken's made it to Castle Age much faster. We'll be on the second town center. Has the fishing economy, which isn't the best eco right now. The thing for Wide is, I think Wide Civ would typically want to have a castle, but the villagers never chop through. But Wide does have this scout, and Wide is scouting both sides of Overtaken's map. Might want to just play more scouts to control the relics in the corners. I really like sending a scout back this way just to see when the opponent chops through. And yeah, there's Overtaken now. And he's just hoping for a TC spot where there's going to be food and stone nearby. And we'll place the town center there. We'll find the buffaloes. We'll find the berries. Has the wood line. And actually the stone is right there too. So that's a pretty good town center. I'm worried. I probably shouldn't be because there's no army for Overtaken whatsoever. But I feel like the longer you go without knowing your king is here, or sorry, excuse me, queen, the more likely you are to forget it. The scouts are there from Wide in the middle, just scouting. He makes it to Castle Age as well. And we'll go to stone. So yeah, that could easily be a third TC. Instead, it's everything to stone. Feels like Wide is going to play around a forward castle here. But the stone timing is different than you would want. Normally, you want to mine this stone while you're on the way to Castle Age, but because you have the chop through to get to the stone, it changes the timing. So it's really interesting. If anything, he's overloaded on stone because of it. 11 on stone is really high. And just economy from Overtaken. And when you're up against the humans, you know you fall behind in vills. You need to recover that. So that's basically what the goal is right now. A T90, maybe the queen is a building architect. Or she's a budding architect. Okay. And she's picked that spot for a future castle. I kind of doubt it. I mean, I think she's just lazy. Or maybe she likes her peace and quiet or something. I don't know. Wanjik, thank you for the 8 months. Tiefke, thank you for the 7 months. Rooster, thank you. Yeah, Rooster, hopefully my explanation made sense. I have another video. I have another Champy video. I think the community is going to get champied out very quickly, but we need to champy while we still can, because I think the devs will probably make some change. Ooh, the knights are on the outside. I really like a couple units to either side, because people are going to outpost. There's never any monks there either, because there's no relics in the corners, but just passing. Just passing. Well, Rooster, my initial thoughts were also with less knowledge as well, right? So I didn't have as much information. Castle for Wide. And yeah, Wide wants fast imp. So I don't know if Overtaken will naturally look here. It seems like Overtaken noticed it. It seems fairly obvious with the Malay Talk vision. So because both players have so much experience, I think Overtaken should recognize that this is about the Imperial Age now. Knight in the back, killed a villager on the stone, started to harass. I think it's going to be Kipchek and trebuchets from Wide as the game plan. Kind of tricky to play unique unit and also castles, but you have enough time. Or sorry, not unique unit and castles, unique unit and trebs. I think the initial Kipchek numbers are just to take the map control, and then once you have the map control secured, you can place another castle, and then trebs do most of the job here. Oh, dude, Overtaken. If Overtaken continues to outpost this way, the queen is out in the open. You could wall it in and tower it. You wouldn't even need military. Guys, let's not forget that Wide can get first place in the group. It's like, if Wide wins this, it's not guaranteed first, but depending on the other set, could go to platinum today. Oh, Queen just got the memo. Queen's coming home. Okay. Finally. And Queen will go into the tower. All right. Queen has the same purpose as a king, so it's basically your life. If you lose it, it's game over. Wide finally notices, probably freaked out for a second. And here comes Wide again. Just a couple Kipchecks for map control. Doesn't even have fletching yet. I'd really like to see fletching, because fletching is just so valuable for even your castles. And there's a castle that's just directly on Overtaken, and Overtaken still hasn't clicked imp. I think he's not expecting this Imperial Age time from Wide, and this is a crazy good position. Now we have to worry about Overtaken's queen. Knight's still running around and lurking. Queen will run to the back there for Overtaken. And yeah, this becomes 10 times as difficult for Overtaken to play now, because the pressure is all coming in fast. Very difficult to get your eco balance correctly. And technically behind this, Wide could just boom. You go 4 trebs underneath these castles and you take down so much. You don't even really need to have a big follow-up army. I think the trebs give you a lot of time here. Humans are dangerous, guys. And Wide's build order was disgusting. He was up so quick. Both to Feudal Age, Castle Age, and then Imperial Age was very well designed. Castle's there for Overtaken. The MTC is one of the TCs in the back, so it should be safe. But I think Wide will just be content with taking down the town centers, the houses, and the tower. We'll eventually see the castle, and then once the castle's there, the Trebs can shift. Knight did get walled in over here, so nice gate there. I like that from Overtaken. Those are the small things you need to do to secure the extra stones and prevent yourself from getting raided. And Wide's trebuchets will spot the castle now as well. Castle needs to shoot the fortified palisade, though, so the Trebs can move in. These castles give you so much time. There is a converted kip check over here. So if the queen would have stayed out there, it would have been a problem. Monk is looking for the queen right now. He doesn't know the queen went home. They were supposed to meet each other here 20 years after the initial plan. But she's left. She got tired of waiting for him. Another castle from Wide. Man, these castle spots are just perfect. The absolute definition of a castle creep. Your castles protect your Trebs. You don't need a lot of other army. It's just perfect. And it Overtaken really needed map control. Monk ends up converting a kip check. He's like, well, if I can't have my queen, I'll take what I can get. This should mean Wide brings in the relic. 2 castles for Overtaken. He does have a lot on stone. That is something that Wide doesn't have. He just ran out of stone. He has to shift over to stone. And that feels like a long time until he gets more stone income. So maybe there's a chance for Overtaken to push this back. And Overtaken will have chemistry in, which means bombard cannons. And humans do not get bombard cannon. To me, it feels likely enough, though, that at least one of the castles for Overtaken goes down. And this is a lot of time where his ecos received some pressure. Lost a town center, lost the farms. Laid on some technologies. Still think these castles give Overtaken a lot of time to cook. But it is only 2 town centers for him. And it's not like he's got 50 on food or anything. It's only 21 on food. And he wants to go for Cavaliers. So, let's see. I think you need to be as stubborn as humanly possible with this castle. Take down Overtaken's castle. And then treb the trebuchets from Overtaken. He's repairing. Imagine being one of these vills. It's like, okay, I'm off to work today. Have fun at work, honey. Have a safe day. Like, what are these conditions? Villagers don't even get paid. I guess they're not really volunteers. I guess they kind of... I guess it depends on what civilization we're talking about here, but... All right, Trebs get packed up. Castle's staying up for Overtaken. He's done a really nice job. So what you don't want is you don't want it to be incredibly obvious what you're switching into. And sometimes people will show their hands when they're under a great deal of pressure. I think Overtaken's still thinking about kip checks. Okay, now he sees the Cavalier. This is what I mean. This is a nice heads up for Overtaken. It's so crazy to me that Wide never took down a single area of wall. And now it takes him that extra 10 seconds to get in. So now Overtaken has the time. Overtaken can quick wall this, but can he protect all of his Trebs? Oh, now the houses go down from the Trebs. And the Cav armor comes in at the perfect time as well. Nice play from Wide. There are some monks in there. The castle fire is helpful as well. But 2 trebuchets go down. The other trebuchets have to pack up and run away. Repairs are still coming in for Wide. It's just 1 treb firing on his castle, which means he could keep it up. His trebs are firing on the castle. The other cav are still moving against these trebs. This is some precious time for Wide. But he didn't end up taking all the trebuchets. He will take the castle, though. Yeah, and now Overtaken knows what he's up against, so he'll plan Arbalest instead of Skirms. But man, he still only has Fletching. He does have the converted Cavalier. But he's also sent the villagers. No, no, not the vills. Not the vills. Oh, God, the castle's still standing. And Wide is bringing in more Cavalier. And can Wide take the Trebs again? Hey, it will take the castle. And then I think he wins the game. Because once the castle's gone, there's not much army there. The Cavalier can take everything else. Damn. So impressive from Wide. It was going back and forth there for a moment, but this castle's taken 10k damage. He's kept it up. And these 3 trebs, I know he lost 1 or 2, have dealt 20k damage. The Cavalier helped him win the game, but honestly, the key was just the castle positioning and the trebuchets. There's so many things that Overtaken would have wanted to do, but he didn't have enough time. He didn't have enough space. He couldn't breathe. He couldn't tech switch. Just so much pressure and well played from wide. But again, that's a really nice build. And you look back at the uptime. In Feudal Age at 334, remember, they start with more resources. That's impossible in a standard game. But still, 334 Feudal into a 1352 castle, into the forward castles, was really well executed. So, it was his home map. He certainly played it like one. I think for Overtaken, he misread the game. The first castle in the middle, he saw that. I think if you see that, you need to immediately stop production with your town centers and try and get to Imp. I think he could have had a better Imp time, and if he's in Imp a bit faster, he was already close to holding. Maybe that swings the game. But with that result, Overtaken is going down to Silver League. Sad news for Overtaken fans. But that does make things interesting here for Wide, because Wide could potentially get first in the group if... I think Veleza has the sweet Prisma in the next series, right? Yeah, all Prisma needs in the next series to secure first place and auto promotion to Platinum is 1 win. It is up against Veleza, and Veleza's a beast. Veleza has a more illustrious career than anyone in Gold, except for maybe Jordan. But Prisma's had a better season, so... And then for Veleza to get playoffs confirmed... He needs a 3-0. I guess Doubt's also in Gold. Guys, you get my point. Velez has had a great career, okay? Yes, I mean, Veleza, to get close to confirming playoffs, he needs a 3-0, so he's going to come out swinging today. But a 3-0 for Veleza... Hold on. Okay, if Veleza were to lose to Prisma, let's say 2-1, he's still safe. I'm wondering if he can get relegated today. Okay, so if Veleza gets swept, Veleza is potentially relegated.